Now, there's a rule in documentary filmmaking that every successful nonfiction film needs a hero and a villain. And the U.S. versus John Lennon makes it clear who's who in its title. The hero is musician and peace activist John Lennon, who lends his considerable talents to the anti-Vietnam War effort in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The villain is the justice-obstructing, paranoid Nixon presidency, which brands Lennon as a fellow traveler with serious revolutionaries, despite the fact that he has embraced only peaceful means of protest. When Nixon's men used the immigration and naturalization people as a weapon against Lennon, the musician was hampered in his efforts to preach for peace. Or so this version of the story goes. Sources here include everyone from Gore Vidal to G. Gordon Liddy.
Statement in all the newspapers that they're getting more better than Jesus himself.
Well, originally I was pointed out that fact in reference to England, that we meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down, I was just saying it.
I think simply on the basis of statistics and fact, his statement is untrue. No one is more popular than Jesus.
I just didn't mean what everybody thinks I meant, you know. I'm not anti-Christ or anti-religion or anti-God, you know.
So many people have built buildings in the name of Christ, and what have people done for the Beatles? What have they done for us?
We urge you to take your Beatle records, pictures, and souvenirs to the pickup points about to be named, and on the night of the Beatles' appearance in Memphis, August 19th, they will be destroyed in a huge public bonfire at a place to be named soon.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
What great music. And isn't it out of context in this? It's, what can I say about this documentary? I was touched to see, as always, to see Lennon and Yoko Ono, who really comes off a lot better in film than she does in still photographs. Any resentment one might have for her having fiendishly broken at the Beatles is like quite gone by the time you see this film and you see her in action.
Well, I got to argue with you. I don't think she broke up the Beatles.
I know.
Lennon was just going a different way. He was really growing in another way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you can see it. I think I think there's a certain naivety in his approach, and it's strange to see them using his music and the power of seeing the man as an argument that he was like such an important enemy to the Nixon administration, instead of just one among many on that enemy's list. That said, it does have its inspiration. What did you think?
Well, my attitudes were very strange. Of course, I was in tears in this film.
Of course, me too.
This is part of my history.
Yeah.
But I know more about this story, and I know what has been revealed from the secret files by the FBI now,
right.
And it is so ridiculous and appalling. It is so embarrassingly absurd what those documents really had in them.
This is not a new story, as we know. This has been around since '74.
And you could see that he really was frightened, and so is Yoko. And they really went through a lot of trauma over this. My attitude towards this film was twofold.
Yes. One,
how almost the White House is using the same script today that Nixon was using back then.
Well, what surprises that? Because there's so many ex-Nixonites in the present cabinet.
And everyone's falling for the same thing.
Yeah.
And the second thing was, look at all the people we could muster back then. Where are they now?
Yeah.
And it's very sad. I thought it was a wonderful documentary. I think everyone should see it. I think kids should see it and just really get a picture of what goes on behind the doors of power and just what John Lennon had to go through.
Okay, well, myself, I feel a little more pragmatic about it. I think just on the grounds that some of Lennon's protests only work if you are John Lennon. The rest of us can stay in bed and wait for peace for the rest of our lives, but we're going to have to go out and agitate a bit.
Yes, have to assume responsibility.